pleasure to be on your show again. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a long time coming from where we were to where we are now.
Yeah.
I think before you were on the show, COVID hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So we were able to have like a real good conversation. So now you're back.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about your business, your book, how everything is going, kind of like a catch up.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate it.
So just
Thank
again,
so
for everyone who hasn't listened to the first episode of our show, you can tell everybody who you are and what you have accomplished so far.
Sure. Thank you so much. So thank you for having me, first of all. My name is Dr. Jairo Borja, and I'm a financial service professional with Primary Financial, where I help individuals and families build wealth, manage cash flow, and protect the things they love, right? So, protection meaning insurance, right? In addition to that, I am the president of my own LLC, Borja Consulting Group, where I coach small businesses. Let's say, for example, let's say you wanted to start a business. I have the business plan templates. I make sure you write it, and we'll go back and forth, make sure it's up to speed. And then I make sure that you have good credit. And if you don't, I have a lot of partners that can get you up to speed when it comes to improving your credit. Once those two things are in place, then I'm more than happy to point you in the right direction as far as lenders. And once that's completed, I help you with implementation of that marketing plan or business plan. So, and then at the end, thank you so much. And at the end, what I'm realizing when I'm talking to these business owners is, you have to have, have to be financially fit as well. So that's why I've partnered with Primary Financial. And for example, I'm helping a chef out, and I'm helping him with his plan, helping him, improve his credit. Eventually we'll get into the lending space, but in the meantime, he has to be able to, create a budget, be able to save money, be able to pay himself. The concept of paying yourself, before you pay your bills. A lot of people don't put money aside towards their emergency fund, right? A lot of people don't have. It used to be 3 to 6 months, but now I'm actually coaching people to put more 6 to 12 because of COVID, because we don't know what's happening. Unemployment is over, 15% depending on what state. So that's, basically what I'm doing. I've basically married the two businesses together. So being a business coach and financial coach and become this conglomerate, so to speak. And then in addition to that, I also have a bestseller on Amazon, Networking Way to Success, 10 Tips for Entrepreneurs and Working Professionals. And I've even had to pivot with that, where I had a whole thing planned in the sense that I spoke in Florida, as you saw at the beginning of the year, and I was going to speak throughout the country, and that of course, because of COVID, was on hold. So now what I've done is I've pivoted actually even everything, right? So I've actually had, instead of networking on site, I've actually learned how to network virtually, and I'm sharing my story to everyone as much as possible. And virtually, I spoke at 9 different universities. 9 different universities. So.
I mean, that's something that we have to talk about, because yesterday attending your networking event, that was an awesome experience. I even connected with Laura when you did the breakout rooms, which I had no idea you could do on Zoom, but it turned out to be amazing. And I think that people who did not attend, unfortunately, you missed a great networking event. But there's another one coming up, right?
Yes, correct. It's going to be Thursday, August 20th, and it's going to be 6:30 to 8:30 via Zoom, and it's free to participate. We just highly encourage, whether you're an entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur, it's a great opportunity for you to be in a circle with positive-minded people. So the genesis behind that is, I'm sorry to cut you off, but the genesis behind that was my friend Royce Blackwell, which you met last night virtually. We wanted to do actually an on-site, right, pre-COVID, but then with COVID, we pivoted, say, you know what, we could do something once a month virtually. Well, we give each other a platform. We'll give people a platform where they could connect, refer each, like a referral network with each other, without breaking the bank, joining some of these other networking. No disrespect to, BNI or other tips. So that. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. So we're excited. So it's funny, and it's a slow process, right? The first event we had 8 or 9 people. The second event we had 13, 14 people. This has been our most successful thus far. We had over 20 who registered at its peak, and the first time we ever did breakout sessions, and I'm learning on the fly. Like I have attended quite a few virtual networking events, and they've implemented that breakout portion to it. And I didn't know I had it for free. I paid for Zoom Pro and I had it for free. So I said, you know what, let's might as well try it last night. And going forward, that's going to be part of the agenda. So
it's funny the things that we've been able to learn throughout the pandemic. And one of the questions that you were asking before we went into the rooms was, what have you learned during the pandemic? What is something that you learned? Because I didn't get in the room with you. I got in the room with Laura, but it was great. We had so many things in common. We're both entrepreneurs. We were both having like difficulties with employment. So we created our own. We both have 3 kids. So it was like a whole bunch of stuff that was happening. But what have you learned throughout the pandemic that I guess you didn't know before, but now you know? No. Or even in the experience.
No, great question. No, absolutely great question. Yeah, no, last night it was a consistent theme as you heard. Pivot. I've learned to pivot my business. I used to go around chasing people, scheduling appointments, going to Starbucks, going to WeWorks, renting space, and now I'm saving commute time, which is an hour or 2 each way per day. I'm saving on gas that way, so I'm using my time more efficiently. So definitely from that perspective, I've learned how to, I guess from a time management standpoint, been able to take advantage of that. And also take advantage, they say in chaos there's opportunity, right? So what does that mean? What that means is a lot of people are scared, God forbid, if something happens to me, what's going to happen with my family? Are they protected? So, I've been busy, knock on wood. I've been busy for the past 3-4 months, and I've put in an application or several applications for insurance every week. Everyone wants to assure that they want to leave a legacy for their kids. So I've taken advantage of that, and it's been great from that perspective. So definitely I've learned to pivot my business and take advantage, and create opportunities even in the worst time. And pivoted stuff similar to last night, right? So originally that was going to be a once-a-month in-person event. Because of the virus, we were able to say, you know what, let's experiment virtually, and it's great. And now instead of doing business in just New York, New Jersey, now as you saw last night, through Zoom I could do business with people nationally or even internationally. Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I learned, my friend.
Yeah, it's been a great learning experience. I think I've been able to read more. I've been able to do like these connections, and even though we're doing it virtually, I still kind of feel that energy. Even through what we're doing right now on Zoom. But what do you think has been the best tool for businesses to use to have these virtual conversations?
Yeah, definitely. Zoom has been the most common one. I've heard, it has a lot of security breaches, so that's why a lot of individuals use Teams or have used WebEx. But Zoom is fine. Even Skype is okay. Zoom is okay because it's compatible for business. As you saw last night, you're able to do different cool things. We haven't even scratched the surface, me at least, with Zoom. You could do breakout. Of course, you could do polls, right? You could do things of that nature. So there's a lot of cool things. So for me, Zoom has been the number one tool as far as I've actually closed more business through Zoom than in person the first couple of months of the year. It's just crazy, right? And then also LinkedIn, believe it or not, that has not changed as well. So I'm able to, I share a strategy during my presentations, how, for example, let's say I'll connect, I'll use you, whether it's one of my first degree connections, and I'll ask for introductions to your second degree, which would be my second degree. So if I was to do that, let's say it's 3 or 4 your people, and ask for your introductions, right? And let's just say if 3 people, even from last night, right? So let's say 20 out of the 20 that were in there, let's say each of those people introduced me to 3, right? So 20 times 3 will be 60 new connections that I did not have any connection with before, that I now have as a lead in order for them to approach for either to prospect for directly for business or a good referral source. So one strategy that I've picked up, and I've been running with that ever since. So some people have been sleeping on LinkedIn. I remember when we first interviewed,
And I kept saying, I was like, you guys need to be on LinkedIn. You guys need to, and they were like, well, what is LinkedIn? And then you said, well, it's like the Facebook for professionals.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is, right? It's true. It's
but
so
how has that been able to help you? Has it grown? Like the connections, have they grown? Have you seen any improvement with LinkedIn?
Yes. One of my strategies that I share in the book, Networking with Success, available on Amazon, is when you're attending an event, whether it's in person or now virtually, connect with those people on LinkedIn afterwards. Like last night, I connected with a few people afterwards.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, so it's a great way to stay in touch, and they can see what you do. And at the end of the day, you're able to set aside time for a one-on-one. So definitely doing that. I've definitely done that. Use that same strategy. And also, when I attend these, still joining the groups or being relevant in some of these groups and being able to participate in intelligent conversations, and from there, again, pivoting to the side and scheduling one-on-ones. So that's definitely helped me out as well. And believe it or not, I'm leveraging alumni. Like not too much, my undergrad, but definitely the LIU, Long Island University, and the alum. I have had people reach out to me and vice versa, and I've scheduled appointments with them. Say, hey, I'm a fellow Blackboarder. I guess now they're the Sharks. Hey, let's connect. Let's find ways to collaborate together. So I'm definitely leveraging the alumni group. But every major university or college has 9 times out of 10 a alumni page. So I've been leveraging the alumni group when it comes to that.
I think a really interesting question or a comment from last night was about starting a business. Like, when do you start? And everybody kind of said, now.
Yeah, exactly. You don't wait. There's no perfect time, right?
Do it now. But in all honesty, do you feel that there are people who are, I guess they have that entrepreneur mindset, and some just don't have it? Right. I mean, I know it's a hard thing to hear, but I think that some people have that mentality of being like a career driven, not really taking any risks. Have you ran into a client that maybe you were like, oh, I don't think you should I don't think you should be doing this?
No, well, to this point, I've been lucky. Everyone has the passion, has the drive. As long as you have the passion and the drive, and even if you started similar to me, I started it part time on the side, and eventually grew, and eventually once I got the degree, I said, you know what, let me take a leap of faith. So no, for the most part, I've been lucky. Yeah, but you do have to have, actually, I teach this in my intro to business class. I can't give you all the traits, but I could give you some of the traits is, you have to be able to take calculated risks. You got to have passion about what you do. Obviously you have to also have some sort of structured process, right? From start to finish, how to get clients and how to prospect. I think one of the mistakes I made in the beginning was, okay, I'm going to start my own business, right? Consulting business, but I didn't actually think through how am I exactly going to get clients from A to Z, right? From prospecting to setting the appointment to what product or service am I promoting, and then the follow-up, and then being able to close the deal, and then being able to, get money afterwards, right? So I think a lot of people fail in that part, right? As far as the actual process. So my top tips for any new entrepreneurs would be definitely have 6 to 12 months of savings, just in case the first couple of months you stumble coming out the box. Definitely create some sort of email list or growing email list, or have a CRM where you're constantly adding names to your email campaign, right? And the last thing is definitely have some sort of process for sure in place, and then put yourself out there as far as what are your strengths, and then based off your strengths, then those are the services you'll be able to sell to people.
I'm glad that you brought up CRM.
Yes.
For people who don't know, can you tell people what CRM stands for?
Yeah, customer relationship management software, right? So most colleges, universities use, Salesforce or Simplicity, and most businesses use like a Salesforce, or small businesses. I think last night I shared it before. I use HubSpot for my CRM. What it is it's a place where you could house your contacts, whether name, first name, last name, email, particular notes. And you could also set it up where you have reminders to follow up with those individuals on a month or 2 month basis. And you could, and in HubSpot, you could actually send emails from there, and it'll keep track of that. And that's good to have. And that's very good to have.
Just for like a useful tip for people, how would you advise them to create a mailing list? Like if you're starting out fresh with no clients or no customers, how do you start a mailing list?
Great question. I actually am in the middle of that now. I'm using MailChimp, which is similar to like Constant Contact. It's an email campaign thing. You could create a landing page and you could actually create a email list. Hey, for free tips, blah, 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 on a weekly basis, opt into my mailing list. And I'm actually doing that. I'm in the middle of a campaign through MailChimp now. Yeah. And also, as you're at every event, you could just dump them into your email campaign, and that's it. And that's your list keeps growing and growing.
So they got to attend these networking events.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could also have some sort of gimmicky themes, like, hey, follow me for free tip or for free something or free iPad. I don't know, whatever it is. And then,
because everybody wants something free. So
right, exactly.
You just have to know who you're marketing to.
Exactly. So,
right. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to ask you, what book are you reading now or listening to now that you can advise other people that they should probably read or listen to?
Yeah, no, thank you. Great question. I am listening to The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. It was recommended to me by Veronica Sosa, who's big in Belgium. She's Dominican, I believe, based out of, lives in Belgium. And yeah, it's great. It's a great book. It talks about being present in the moment and not letting the past or having too many highlight reels of the future, just living in the present moment and controlling your conscious. It's very, very deep stuff, right? That's like a separate conversation in itself.
Right.
But that's what I'm reading now. It's always good to have books to they always say never stop learning. So I'm always listening to different books. And I think I have a couple of other books I want to listen to in the queue. It's always good to keep learning and keep getting ideas and great ways to keep yourself positive and keep yourself motivated.
Are you planning on writing another book?
Yes. A lot of people say you should write the Networking Way to Success too. So I might do that, which a lot of stuff that I teach, the core principles are for on-site, but there's a lot of things that now online that I'm learning from doing business online that maybe I might do a second book on.
You got to put like Networking Your Way to Success during a pandemic.
Exactly.
Don't use that name because I'm come after you.
I know. I will not.
No. But it's very interesting, what we've been able to learn and the things that we've been able to accomplish. And so for you to be helping people the way that you are, how can people get in touch with you?
Sure. They could get in touch with me via Instagram directly at Borja Consulting Group, via Twitter at Borja Consulting, and through LinkedIn or Facebook at Dr. Jairo Borja. So
now, before they reach out to you, what is it that you want them to come with?
No, just open mindset and just give me the time. So I could help you, whether it's in the front end, helping you with the business planning or even if you have that in place. I have connections even now that I met recently that could help you on the back end, and also give me the time of day to help you financially. And trust me, in order for you to be fit as a business owner, you have to be financially fit as well, right? So it's important. So wow. Just a quick plug. You have to, right?
Yes.
Quick plug. I am going to come out with a second podcast, the Dr. B Show. It's to highlight the latest who's who in HR and in business. So that's going to drop in the fall. And I'm going to be recording in 2 weeks. I have all my interviews scheduled. In 1 week, and I have a friend of mine that's going to help me with pre and post production, but I'm excited. Yeah. You're going to see some cool guests. I can't wait to share that with you.
Awesome. So podcast, book. Yeah. Is there anything else that you don't do?
I got one more too. I got one more for you. Well, not a secret anymore, but I am building a course through Kajabi, and I can't give you the name yet, but the whole point of the course is going to coincide with the book itself. The book is going to be like a workbook, basically like a workbook. And awesome. I'm excited. That's going to drop hopefully in the fall. I just have to find the time to build it, basically. And
right. So now my next question is,
Sure.
All the things that you have been able to do, is it related to having the time because of the pandemic, or is it just because you've made this time available to do all of these multiple projects?
Yeah, made the time available. There's no excuse. People say, "Oh, I don't have time, this or that." I made time. You just have to make the time and put it and use it and use a calendar. I time block everything. Like our interview today, I put it on a calendar. My networking event coming up on the calendar. I just, you just have to make the time, right?
Yeah.
So there's no excuse.
Awesome. So do you have any advice for upcoming entrepreneurs, and also just a little tip of being prepared?
Yes. Any advice? Go with it. Don't wait. You're not going to have the perfect site. You're not going to have the perfect LinkedIn profile. You're not going to have the perfect product. Just, go with your passion, go with your gut to an extent, but at the same time, take calculated risk. I did make some mistakes, and in the beginning, and I'm still recovering, use my credit card, but I advise you not to do, right, as much as possible. But definitely plan those three things, save 3 to 6 months, definitely be able to create some sort of email campaign list, and definitely understand your sales process of exactly how you're going to make money, right? And what I highly suggest, especially if you're going to be more of a consulting role, is one thing the mistake I made was I didn't have a client on a monthly retainer for like a year, for example, right? Because that monthly retainer, you would know guaranteed that at least you have consistently $2,000, $4,000 a month, and you'll be able to pay your bills, right? So I just went in cold turkey, and I'm kind of stumbling and now getting used to everything, but that's my 4 tips. So
wow. And just the little tip of prepared, how to be prepared.
How to be prepared? Well, in the beginning, I would say started slowly as a side thinking. It's kind of like the internship that you try before you buy. Start on the side where don't incorporate it yet. Just work off your strengths, and if you want to start your own DJ company, start by doing DJ gigs on the side and see if you like it. Charge a little bit while still having your job, and then if it's still sustaining and if you keep filling the pipeline, then you resign from your job. So definitely start on the side. Start it slowly, build slowly. Yeah. So.
Awesome advice. Awesome information. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming back and letting us know where to find the book, and there might be a part 2.
Might be a part 2. Exactly.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Stay strong. Stay strong.